Ready to go?
Well, good evening everybody and welcome to the Talk of the Town podcast with myself, Laura Kavanagh, Ciara Dignam and Tracy Metcalf.
Just a second. Just watch out, see the window. We'll give you a nod.
Alright, very good.
But that was right.
That was very good. Oh my god, alright.
Not too far away. Yeah, because you hadn't even hit that yet. I was like,
very good.
I was like, is she going to remember my story?
Hello everybody and welcome to our podcast, Talk of the Town with myself, Laura Kavanagh, Ciara Dignam and Tracy Metcalf. And today we are going to be talking about online dating. We are here at the studio at Jealoustown, absolutely amazing studio. We have posted pictures. However, we have, last night we put on our Instagram page, we put up a few polls that we're going to give the results of now because I was so shocked by some of these.
So was I.
Really shocked.
Yeah. I was not.
Were you not?
Being in the dating scene.
No. You have done you've done the online dating thing. Ciara has been married since she's baby.
Since I was born.
And I am well under the tongue.
Well, let me tell you, it's
10
a minefield.
Minefield. I can imagine it is, and I am shocked by some of the statistics. We asked people, have you been ghosted? And I was shocked, 67% of people said yes, they've been ghosted. Wouldn't you, Doc?
Like, are you surprised by that?
No, because me or anyone I know who's done the online dating wasn't just ghosted once or twice.
Really?
It's an actual thing. I will also say I have ghosted people as well. As
Tracy?
Yeah, I have. Like, when I've got the ick for whatever reason, I've been like, how do I get out with this? And I don't have the heart to say it, and then I have ghosted. And I've been on dates with guys that were quite intense, and I was like,
have you ever legged it from a date? Because that was one of our polls as well.
100%. I showed up at a date, and the guy looked like he was about 12. He was in his 30s, and he was actually in his 30s, but when I got there,
Well, I should hope so.
he looked like he was about 12, and I was like, I need to get out of this. So I pretended that my daughter was sick. and then I ended up out in a bar in Ashbourne.
That was a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what as well, we asked in the poll, have you ever had to sneak out of a date early? 38% said yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Out of the back door.
I am one of the 38%.
Gone. And what would you do? Like, you'd have to change your number or something.
Yeah, but I remember that guy ended up texting me, basically saying, like, calling me out on it, and basically saying, you know, like, you could have just been honest, because I wasn't even replying to him.
Yeah.
He's like, you could have just been honest, blah blah blah. And I just was like, the easiest way out of this is just not to reply.
Would you go mad if you were ghosted?
Oh yeah, and I have gone mad. I've been like, why do they do that? Like, what's,
You could have just been honest.
Yeah, you could have just been honest. But I've been in that situation where it's like, oh, you know, that horrible feeling in your gut that you have to tell someone you're not interested.
Yeah,
so,
because you would feel bad. Like, how do you say that?
And because you feel like you don't owe them anything really.
Yeah, because you're not, there's no relationship.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I just won't reply.
Yeah.
I know.
See, as well, yeah, it would. I don't know how I'd take that now, to be honest.
Or I don't know how I suppose, like, because I'm obviously married 45 years. So, like, the only thing if I could go to my kids, I would. Some days.
I think we all would.
They just always find a way back. But no, I don't know if I'd be. I don't know. Well, saying that, like, I don't like confrontation. I don't like it. Yeah. So if I was in that position, I probably would be.
Yeah, see, that's it. I don't like that confrontation, the tension of that conversation. But I remember, like, when I was with my daughter's dad, I remember having friends that were dating and online dating, and I'd never done Tinder. I'd met him online on Plenty of Fish, but I'd never done the whole Tinder thing, swiping left and right. And I remember thinking, oh God, I'd hate to be doing that now. Like, I'd hate that whole life. But when it happened, it's different. You kind of immerse yourself in it then. Yeah. When you're ready for the date and you're like immersed in it, and you're generally having lots of conversations with lots of different people. And I'd always try and narrow it down because I found that quite difficult because you're repeating yourself a lot as well.
And like, did I say that to you already? Or was that
and because of that, it's harder to build a big connection with someone, so you don't feel as bad when you're like just don't reply to him. Like, he probably has loads of other girls he's texting on.
Just tip X that one out.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever been, you know, on a dating website, and have you ever had two kind of interests, say, and you'd be chatting to one and chatting to the other, but get the messages mixed up? Does that
Oh, my
happen?
nerves.
No, that hasn't happened. But I will tell you a mad story. Me and my friend were both online dating, and we were on the phone one night for like, we used to ring each other every night for like an hour just to chat. And I was telling her all about this guy, this postman that I was messaging. She was like, wait, that's the fella I was telling you about. Turns out we were both, for like a couple of weeks, have been messaging the same guy.
Oh.
So like that was a bit awkward. And he turned out to be a weirdo anyway.
Oh my God, postman literally getting around the house. It's like,
And milk men get a terrible rep.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
don't
the
they?
postman for me. There you go. Yeah.
People aren't looking after the
He
postman.
was odd. He was an oddball.
Oh, I hope he's
Yeah.
not listening.
oh God, I hope he is.
I hope he is, because he needs to learn.
Another one of the polls was, have you been on a blind date? 29% said yes. I'm not very surprised at that because it's a low enough number.
Yeah.
I would be mortified going on a
I just
blind date.
don't know. Not
I,
chance in hell.
for a start, because I'd have to have my glasses to find them in the first place. But have you been on a blind date?
No.
No.
I wouldn't be able to do it, but I kind of feel like online dating you nearly are going on a blind date, because like that when I was dating I'd still walk in and be like, oh, is that him? Is that
Well,
not
that's the
him?
thing, and
It's
it's
like
catfishing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it could literally be a blind.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to
Yeah.
show?
but I wouldn't knowingly go on a blind date.
No. And that was another one as well, the catfishing. Have you ever been disappointed when meeting somebody because of filtered photos? And 100% said yes.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
Yeah. No, I would have thought it would be high because filters are such a
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have thought it'd be like.
Not 100%.
No.
I did not think 100%. One girl actually messaged me and said that she met her partner, her now husband, on Tinder.
Yeah.
That was
And
really
I got a
nice.
few of them as well. Like, there's a lot of people that have actually met their
Yeah, the love of their
Yeah.
life.
on it. But,
Yeah.
That's nice.
But
And just for the purposes of honesty, I am one of those people that filter pictures.
oh, so am
Because
I.
I'd say anyone listening to this
Yes.
is like,
no,
she
no.
does that.
We're not against
Everyone does
filters.
it.
We are not. Filters are
We're
our
not
best
filter.
friends. Monday morning, getting the kids to school and everything, you have to. No.
yeah.
No, absolutely no way. I wouldn't put up a picture without a filter. No, I am 40. How many we put up? We asked how many are single and love being single, and 78% said they are happy to be single.
Yeah.
I do think, you know, with COVID and the lockdowns and everything, where 3 or 4 years ago, online dating probably wasn't such a big thing.
Yeah.
But on some of the research that I did today, there is 200,000 people in Ireland on Tinder right now, but there is 50,000 actually using it every single day.
Yeah.
In Ireland,
more than I
just
would've.
like there's only 4 or 5 million in Ireland in total.
And the amount of people that you can think of that are in relationships,
Yeah.
that are married or whatever. But then, like,
Oh, that's another part of it as well.
that's what I worry about.
Yeah,
Oh, there
I
is
would worry about
very
that. Yeah,
people on it.
I absolutely.
I've
I didn't
come
even
across
think that.
people on it that I knew when they were their partners and stuff like that.
Oh, Christ.
How do like people not see them and say, "Hey, I've seen your husband
Yeah.
there today on
Yeah,
Tinder."
I
I know that was only the statistics for Tinder. That wasn't even like
Yeah,
plenty of fish or
whatever.
any
Yeah,
new ones. That was-
Jesus.
Yeah, that's
No, I'd be, I don't know, I think, obviously because I'm in such a long-term relationship, but it's just even the thoughts of going down that road, like, oh,
yeah.
I think
I
even
do, yeah.
even if I wasn't, even if that wasn't the case, I'd just be afraid of all the murderers.
Yeah.
I know it is. It's carnage out there.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
really would
Yeah.
be.
and there's a lot of mental cases
Yeah.
online dating. Like
The thing you just don't know, like, and there's nothing to feel, like, there's nothing
to filter
to,
that
like,
out.
on a serious note,
Yeah.
like, there's nothing to filter out that
No.
kind of,
No.
like, literally anybody
Like
can set up a
when
profile.
I'd be going
Yeah.
on a date or our friends going on dates, like we would send each other locations, you know, as in
So
on
you
our
know
phone.
where you are,
So
that's what
Yeah.
it is.
not just telling you where I am, I'm sending you the actual
Yeah, that's
location
Yeah.
so we can follow and track just in case anything happened. I think especially with recent events in Ireland,
Yeah.
I think everybody's back was kind of up,
Yeah.
you know, so you have to be careful, but you're right, like there is no way of filtering that. And like we were talking about it earlier, like the amount of unsolicited pics that are sent to you. And look, I would imagine no girlfriend of mine has admitted sending them, but I don't think guys are just sending these all the time and never getting anything back either. But I can say, as the female, I could have made a whole wall of them.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I used to be on there every single morning, different people, like obviously.
Horrible, like.
Yeah.
And I remember one guy, like usually I'd just block the person the minute I got something like that. But I was sitting in a restaurant in Ashbourne and I messaged the guy back saying, why would you think it's okay to send me something like that? Like, it's disgusting. And his response to that was to send me another one. I obviously blocked him then, but
oh my god.
Well, isn't it a thing like, is it, I don't know, like you'd probably have a better insight. See with different sites, you know, like Plenty of Fish or Tinder or whatever, like how do you kind of weed out somebody who's looking for a relationship and somebody who's looking to hump you?
so like Tinder is kind of more vague because it's photographed. You're really just
So
going
it's
off
literally
looks.
just right.
Whereas Plenty of Fish
Can be like a relationship.
Well, that gives you like just questions on it, like what are you looking for,
right,
kind of thing. But in saying that, people are good at selling themselves. It doesn't mean that's actually who they are.
True.
Yeah.
Like I've met plenty of guys who said they wanted relationships, but
They
definitely
wanted
did not want relationships.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember talking to a guy on Tinder and he was lovely and he wanted a relationship, but he told me he wanted that without my daughter ever involved. Like he actually said that.
Oh, I
You know,
hope you actually punched him in the mouth.
Oh, I was like, look, I ripped into him.
Bye.
But it's very hard. Like, and see, the thing is, you can meet someone online, they can sell you this perfect version of themselves.
Yeah.
You can meet them and they can still present that perfect version.
Yeah.
But it can take time then to realise they're
Where
actually
you're into.
not at
Yeah,
all.
well, that's why you
what
have
they-
the saying, if you want
Yeah.
to know, you come and live with me.
Exactly.
Like, because you really
So,
don't know someone so well.
It is scary because you're having to put your trust in to a degree into what they're saying to you because
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've nothing else to go off. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. Like, oh no, I'd rather stick to me olden days now.
yeah, but you
I'll
say
stick
that
to my
now,
current
Ciara.
wife.
You say it now because that's your
Because I'm
situation.
That's my
And I
situation.
felt
I'm doing
that.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
And I'm going to be honest, I was very unhappy in my relationship with my daughter's dad, but I still felt that,
That
I
was
never
the
want to
only
go into
way,
that dating life or online
Yeah.
stuff. But when it happens to you, it's different
Yeah, of
because
course.
then you don't know anything different
Yeah.
Yeah.
than this, you know.
And I suppose it's different now with, like, years ago would be kind of there'd be dances and that's where
Yeah,
that's where
and
all
slow
where the
sets.
nannies and
Yeah.
granddads met and all
And,
Yeah.
and I
different
always
now.
think I should have been born back then. That's my era. That's, you know,
That's
I'm a
your
romantic.
idea.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just obviously I was born now. And the thing is, online
This
dating,
is the
that's
way
the
it is.
main way to meet people, especially over the pandemic. You
Of
know.
course, yeah.
So-
I think if I was single, I'd probably just be a mad cat lady the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think
I don't
would
like cats.
too.
I don't
I
like
did
cats.
think that. I did think that for myself, but look, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know till it's presented to you.
Exactly.
And look, I mean, you are lucky as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In what era?
In your
You found
endeavours.
somebody
In my
lovely.
endeavours.
You
In your
found a
endeavours.
really
No,
good
and I
It
one.
have,
turned
like,
out well for
yeah.
you.
I
Yeah.
have met somebody lovely, but I've gone through a lot of nightmares up to this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Kissed many a frog, if you will.
Very
Yeah.
frog, and haven't publicly said that I've seen somebody, but here we
Well,
are.
we did.
Ciara has let it out of the bag.
You are welcome.
No, and I'm happy, and he's lovely, but I've gone through meeting a lot of.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
trial and error.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Definitely.
been worried, like being on a date and thought, oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
like that, you know,
Like
that
frightened?
I'm gonna run to my
Yeah.
car and
Oh,
lock the door.
I
type thing?
remember ringing one of the first dates I went on after COVID. I
Yeah.
remember I was on the phone to yourself in a group WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And the guy that I met seemed like a lovely guy, great job. Sitting there, start talking to me randomly about doing cocaine.
Oh.
And I was really taken aback because I was like, he didn't come across like that at all. And I was like, he's, you know, do you do that? And I was like, no. Well, I do that on the weekends when I'm out with the lads. And I was like texting the girls and saying, no, this is not for me. But when we went out to the car, his friend was going to collect him, but he pinned me against the car. Now, this is only a few months ago. But he pinned me up against the car trying to kiss me. And I really got a fright because it was at Kettles,
Yeah.
which is on the Swords
I
Road.
was in the middle of
So,
nowhere.
Yeah, it was dark. And I was at the car, and only by the grace of God, his friend pulled up to collect him, was how I got out of that situation.
Oh, God.
But Yeah, it is scary, and I would be very careful because of my past experiences in life. But I've been in a few of those situations. I've been in situations where guys have got annoyed at me because I don't want to kiss them, or so it can be scary. Like, you have to have your wits about you.
Yeah. My nerves would be gone now. I have to say, if my daughter, say, because she's 21, if she was online, like dating someone online, my nerves would be gone. I'd be like hiding around the corner from whatever she was in.
I already worry about Aaliyah, and Aaliyah is only 10.
Yeah.
I'm already, like, it freaks me out because I know what goes on out there. Like, it's like, it's scary.
And it would have been even worse as well, like when the lockdown was on and you couldn't just go, you meet in a pub, like, you know what I mean? You couldn't go to a camera gig. Like,
a lot of people were meeting in more isolated places, like parks, and they were going, like, for walks. And, or just meeting up in cars and going for a drive, like, and you just do not know who you're getting into the car with. But it was 2 years of, that was kind of your only option.
Because like that, although like you're saying, you can go into a pub and then suddenly start to realise, oh, this person is not who, this is not what said on the tin. Whereas back, like, in COVID, you don't have that. Like, if you're in a situation and you're in a pub and you feel uncomfortable, you'll be like, I'm going to the toilet, you can, like, that text your friend, you're where you are or whatever. But if you're in a situation where you're like, there's nothing else we can do, let's just go for a drive. Oh, God.
And, like, a couple of my friends did meet guys in car parks and go for a drive, and I was, like, overwhelmed with that. I was like, I did not date throughout COVID. I just didn't date because it was like, there was no point. I just didn't feel there was point, and I certainly wasn't putting myself in one of those situations.
But young people would, you know, because they'd be used to being out and
don't think that they could go into it innocently.
Oh yeah, because they do think they're invincible at times. But like, it definitely is something that you have to weigh up pros and cons with.
And it's not something. It's not something you think of. Like, it's really not. You kind of like that. Just think, I'd like to meet somebody. Set up a profile. I like the look of that person. It lets me up. Like, there's so much more. It's a minefield.
It really is. Like,
absolutely. 47% have been stood up. You shocked?
It hasn't happened to me, but I'm not shocked by it either.
Now, I would be really annoyed if I was after spending hours getting ready.
I'd be kind of more like, why?
Your nerves go.
Like, I'd be thinking, oh my God, did they walk in and see me and go, ew? And then like, you'd be kind of, at least if you have a reason, already say, listen, I'll change my mind last minute. Because you'd be kind of thinking,
it's hard not to internalise that and make it about
because if they've made the plans to show up, they've obviously seen you or whatever the case may be, but then to not show up, it would be that whole
like
head thing.
I think like the whole dating thing is very damaging to you as well. It can be, because look, not everybody likes everybody. That's just the way it is. But in some of those situations, that guy probably just didn't show at all, which is also a sign. It just depends on how you look at it.
Well, I know if I was on a dating website, I would absolutely be one of them girls that had all the pictures filtered, and then the whole way to the date, and while I'm waiting for them, I'd be like, oh my God, they're gonna be like, that's better this time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not bad looking for a nana. I'm 40 years old. However, I do filter my pictures, so I would be like, oh, what are they gonna think when they actually see me? So I think years ago, I remember years ago, the older generation would say, oh yeah, you used to agree to meet them under Cleary's clock, and you'd stand across the road and have a look, and if they were wrote off, you just wouldn't go over, but if they were alright, you'd go over.
If they were wearing a filter.
Exactly,
You're alright to cross the road.
Well, I would be the one with the filter, I have to say. And overall experience, a good experience was 20%. So that's 80% bad.
And I agree with
that.
There's a lot of,
that low.
like there's a lot of disappointments like that. A lot of
rejection and
a lot of sexualized stuff. Like, you know, like a lot of guys are very pushy. With stuff, and like it is the age we live in as well. Like I always say now, we live in the age of Sex in the City. Like, and that's what people do, and that's grand. Like, everybody's personal choice. But my personal experience, because that's just not how I am. I found a lot of guys quite pushy with that. And it makes you uncomfortable. Or then like that, like being ghosted, or, you know, there's lots of negatives to it. And also meeting someone that, like, I remember meeting a guy, you know, also remember a few months ago, and he was mad about me. Like I think he was in love with me, and we were only texting a week. And I was so stressed. Like I didn't want to go on the date. I shouldn't have went on it. We went on it. I was trying to get out of it, telling him the babysitter had to leave to go to sleepover.
Yeah, to go to sleepover.
He follows me to my car, like plants his face on top of me, and I was so freaked out. I was like,
God,
and do you remember that night? I was like, oh, like, but yeah, I ended up just ghosting him, but even that made me feel like crap.
Yeah,
you know,
of course, because like that, just because you didn't have a connection with him doesn't mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have also met a couple of guys that I'd still be in touch with, like on Facebook and stuff like that I've never actually met.
Yeah.
That we met online and then never actually met in person.
Yeah.
But we'd still follow each other and stuff like that, and grand. But I do agree with there's a lot more cons to it than there is pros.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I suppose if you're texting someone, you're not really. I love voice noting people on my page, you know, because
it's more personal.
Yeah, not only that, but you can actually understand what they're saying. I think more than reading a text message. Do you know that way?
Yeah.
You can read their voice, like you know what mood they're in or what context it's in.
Yeah.
But I could imagine if you were just texting someone and then met them, they might be a completely different character.
Yeah,
you know, in person.
Yeah, they could be like someone could be
text.
quite shy in person.
Exactly.
And on text they could be real chatty, and then you meet them and it's like, oh my god, you're a dork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I've met people that are sound on text, but I don't like their voice.
Yeah.
When I meet them in person, I'm like, what's that?
I do not like that.
Oh, that's one. Would an accent put you off?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Kira, stop it now.
I don't think so.
Right.
See, my issue is
no offence to people in Mayo, right? But it's thick Mayo accent. You're telling me would not turn you off compared to a Donegal accent.
You have a point. You do have a point. But my issue is, and what I would be more concerned about is, there's something wrong with me in a sense that no matter who I talk to, if they have any sort of accent, like in my brain, I'm like, oh my god, I need to talk like you now, and I just start to respond. Like if someone's speaking to me with a Scottish accent, I am full on Shrek. Like there's something wrong with me.
Oh, I love that.
So I'd have to watch that. That'd be more my concern, that rather than me being turned off because they have a Mayo accent.
What would you say the Shrek accent? Go on, Kira, give us a bit.
No, that's not good. No, I would be very much, because I remember even when Ava, my daughter, when she was in play school, her teacher was Scottish.
Yeah.
And every morning I'd go in and she'd be talking to me and I'd be like, I knew that if the conversation was going to last 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, I'm Scottish for the day. That's it. Braveheart for the day.
I know that.
Like I was full on, and I just couldn't. It was like my brain wouldn't. I was like, no, you need to rein that in.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me.
That's gas. Yeah. That is mad.
So yeah, accents.
Yeah,
I suppose.
accents,
Some
definitely.
accents aren't pleasant. But
Yeah.
some are nicer than others.
Yeah, definitely.
How about uniforms? We never put that up for a poll.
I would imagine that'd be all right. Well, what kind do you like a fireman uniform or anything specific? No, not specific.
No, nothing specific. Definitely not a fireman. I don't think she'd be into a fireman, especially.
I am going to refrain from answering this question.
Plead the fifth. I don't know. Well,
so come here. How did Darren chat you up in the first place?
Yeah.
How did he nab you?
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I chased Chris as well.
Yeah.
Go on,
I was now again, I was about 6 years of age. So no, I wasn't. We were 15, so we were friends.
Yeah.
He played music, I was singing. So we kind of met that way, and I was like, yeah. I decided there and then. I knew when I met him, he was, because we were kind of like, we hung around with his cousins and stuff, and I was good friends with them as well, but he was different. He was kind of, he listened when I spoke to him.
Yeah.
And he was interested.
Yeah.
Now thinking back now, he probably wasn't interested. I just thought he was. Like, you know what I mean? Listening to what I was saying, he probably was. He was probably like, she is a tick. But anyway, I decided there and then, I was like, he is going to have my babies. And that was it. I hounded him till he agreed.
Oh, that's lovely.
Now he says that now being big headed, like she chased me, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I did.
You did.
I did.
Yeah. Good girl.
Own that.
Yeah.
You did.
I won.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
You got the man.
I did. I got the man.
Yeah.
And he did have me babies.
Yeah, exactly.
So it worked out alright.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go on any weird dates.
Yeah,
You didn't have to.
I couldn't. I just couldn't do that. Now,
But you did date. Did you date a bit before Chris?
I was like, I would fall in love with a town, right, when I was younger. I would literally, like, the minute I would meet someone, I'd be like, yeah, okay, he's lovely, that's great. Now, I had very few kind of dates that I didn't kind of go on another one, do you know what I mean? There would be one or two in my whole life. Every fella, for some reason, when I was younger, that I went on a date with, I saw for maybe 6 months, up to like a few years. It was actual relationship, like, so no, not really. I just don't think I was ever confident enough for that, and I think when I was younger as well, I was a little bit needy, so I kind of thought that I needed somebody there. Do you know that way? Now I'd be completely different. If Chris was gone tomorrow, I would be on my own, and that'd be it. I don't think I'd be bothered with the dating.
Yeah, I think I'd be the same.
Yeah, I really don't think I could do that. I just wouldn't have the confidence, although people say that. But
yeah, but like you said, you thought a certain way and you totally changed. But in my frame of mind now, I just see that I just would have no interest. Like, it's just,
and I hope we never get to find out.
No, we never will.
Because you're both happy and it's worked out for you.
Yeah, and do you know what, Chris is like exactly like me, but in a man version, like exactly like me. Like when I met him first, I know Chris since we were in primary, we went to primary school and everything together. And we always were in kind of the same circle of friends, but never at the same time. And I'd have a boyfriend or he'd have a girlfriend or whatever. So it was never like that. And then I found myself then in 2012 working in Ballymun in a barbershop. And I heard that Chris was working in the barbershop across the road. So I was on Facebook one day, seeing him online, and I was like, I was bored, the barbershop was empty. So I was like, you must be as bored as I am. And he was like, yeah. Why, where are you? I said, across the road. He was like, you're the competition. So that was the end of it then. I moved over to his place. Competition became one barbershop in Ballymun, and that was the rest is history. So he just slags me now and says I didn't actually want a girlfriend, just wanted to take out the competition. Which he did. Great first date. Sent him packing. I sent him packing that night because a friend of his said to me, if you want to see him again, do not sleep with him. So I said, right, I won't. And he thought he was coming into my house and he got me home in the taxi, and I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, really? Yeah, bye. And that was it. The next morning I got a morning gorgeous message, and that was it. Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Look at us,
he moved all his pairs of jeans in one by one. Too afraid to tell his man he was moving out, so we'd move all the stuff in gradually, yeah. Took around 2 weeks to realise it moved out, bless him.
So it's weird. I didn't realise how manipulative either one of us were, but we clearly are.
We are manipulative.
That's where I've gone wrong.
Yeah.
This is where I've gone wrong.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah. We saw what we wanted and we texted it and took it.
Yeah. And you said, because I've gone through this recently, obviously, you found it hard with Nikita.
Yeah.
Because you were a single man.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nikita, she was let down by 2 male figures in her life.
Yeah.
Like long-term male figures in her life. And by the time that was all over and I met Chris, she did not want to know, to the point that I'd have to pretend that he wasn't coming around, and she'd listen. Like, I'd say to her, put her into bed and all the rest of it, and she'd be like, is Chris coming around? And I'd be like, no, not tonight, because I knew it bothered her, like. And she'd had enough. She had just had enough of men. So Chris came around this one night, and I says, she's only after going up the stairs. But she was still waiting and listening, and she did not believe me. So she's shouting down the stairs, I thought you said he wasn't coming around here.
She was only lying at that
you're
time.
just, yeah. You're just going to have to, I said to him, you're just going to have to, like, give her that space, you know what I mean, wear a package. And he understood that. He had a son himself as well. So that's just what we did, and he bought her over with 2 rabbits in a rabbit cage. Yeah, and it worked. And I have to say, you know, he's great. He is. He's brilliant. Like, can honestly say in 10 years we've had 2 big arguments, just 2, and that is it. Like, we're so similar. Now I'm sure sometimes he has arguments with me in his head.
Yeah.
Not that way, of course. I'm sure he calls me every name under the sun. But no, he's genuinely exactly like me. I'm blessed. I'm very lucky.
That's good.
We are all very lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I think so.
Ah. Oh, it's getting all cheesy now.
Isn't it? Okay, let's slate them. What have they done wrong? I am still waiting on curtain poles to be put up. I will, lads.
Resting on it.
Yeah. So.
Have you any more statistics?
How many minutes have we left? Sorry, guys. Are they even in there?
That was a good flow.
That's all I have now.
Do you want to lead that back to me now about Aaliyah?
Yes.
Or do they have to stop it or start it again? Are they asleep? Yes, or you.
So yeah, how is Aaliyah? How did Aaliyah cope with? Did she know that you were dating online?
No. And Aaliyah's a psychopath about me dating. Like, we're obviously very close. Like, me and her dad broke up in 2016, so it's been me and her.
Yeah.
So I would never ever tell her discuss dating with her or anything. She's too young.
Yeah.
But what happened this time with my current situation was she went through my phone.
Yeah.
When I was out at the door, she took an opportunity. She went through my phone. She found messages between me and Darren.
Someone.
Yeah.
So
Not
not
my
here
age.
with Darren.
Yeah, we need to just let people know.
Yeah.
We don't have the same Darren.
No, we don't.
It's important. It's not. We're not those kind of friends.
Maybe someday. But she went through the phone and I
We chance. Wink.
no, she went through my phone, and this was before me and him had even met. And that put a pressure then on me because
you weren't ready for her to know.
Yeah, because then she knew, and then she was asking questions. And I remember the day that I was actually on the date with her, I kept saying to her, "Look, you know me, I probably won't even go on this date." And she said to me, real dead serious. She says to me, "Ma'am, listen, I'm thinking about it. You need to up your game." She said, "You can go on this date. He can think you're really fat and never text you again, or he can fall in love with you. But if he says you're fat and he doesn't text you again, that's God's way of telling you it's not meant to be." That was her pep talk, which was the worst pep talk ever.
Yeah. Like, what do you wear then? What do you say? Like, yeah,
I was
thinking what
like,
I'm wearing.
Oh Lord!
Like I was like,
As if you wouldn't already be
already
nervous
nervous.
going home.
when I was going out that night, then obviously she knew, so I had to say to her, you know, she was like, "Ring me when you're leaving." Like, she wanted to basically FaceTime me and see what I was wearing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she was all mammy mode then.
Yeah.
Went on the date. I was in touch with her through, like, text her, said everything's going great. She took it upon herself at like 12:30 that night to frighten my mum by telling her that I said I was going to ring her and I hadn't rang her, so I was probably dead in a ditch somewhere. So my mum got into a panic because nobody had heard from me, because there was music on in the bar that we were in, so I wasn't even looking at the phone. And so since then, I'm honest with her in the sense that yes, I am seeing somebody, yes, he's now my boyfriend, but she hasn't met him, and I told her that won't happen for another few months.
Yeah.
That the only reason she knows about it is because she went through my phone.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But it does add that pressure. I think dating as a single mom is hard as well, because you're not just choosing someone for you.
Yeah,
You have to take, and
Yeah.
I think especially, again, because of my past history, because of a little girl, I'm even more, you know, I have to be careful.
Who are you bringing into our home?
Yeah,
or whatever,
exactly. And I've worked really hard to give her a really good life, and I only want to bring value to my life and her life.
Yeah.
Do you know, so, but it does definitely make it a bit more difficult, because you do come across a lot of guys. Do you know what else I find mad on online dating? Women my age, I'm 41, they have their kids. They've done, their kids bit is over now. Their kids are starting to grow up and they're ready to live their lives. Whereas the men that are like 39, 40 are like wanting to have kids. They have it's like they've lived their best life in their 20s,
and they're ready to settle down.
and now they're ready, and you're like, do you know?
Yeah.
So that I also found a bit difficult, in the sense that I didn't, like, I'm 41. I'm not at an age now where I want to have more children, and that's all stuff that you have to consider, especially at my age. Like, I'd meet guys online and have to say to them, you know, just so you know, I don't want to have more kids, because They're
Yeah, I
completely
never
different.
even think of that.
Yeah, like they're at a
Yeah,
completely different
actually,
stage.
yeah, and that's kind of,
Yeah.
although that's not something you say in a first date when you're 20, but when you're
Yeah.
40, you kind
It
of
could
would
be a
have
deal
to,
breaker.
because it
Either
would be
way.
a deal breaker for, especially if that man hasn't had a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like
I
that.
hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
like-
vice versa.
Yeah,
Like
like you
guys
could
that
have,
have
went, yeah, exactly, like you could have, like that, had a career or whatever, and then said, right, at 40, I want to settle down,
Yeah.
hopefully meet someone and have a baby or
Yeah.
whatever. And then that other person would be like, oh, like you're
Yeah.
saying, no, well, I have a 20-year-old,
Yeah,
and
I
it doesn't
know.
interest me.
Yeah.
And it could be the perfect person, it
Yeah.
could be somebody that you really click with, but that could
Yeah.
literally be a deal breaker.
And like the other thing as well to consider is like I've a friend that's only 23 and was dating at the same time that I met Darren, and I remember me saying, you know, like he's, you know, has a house, he's selling his house, and like he has 2 kids. And she was real, oh, and I was like, but you have to remember, I'm nearly twice your age.
Yeah.
She's
They're-
thinking of that as baggage because she's
Yeah, like
like,
Yeah.
whereas I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Like I have my own home.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I don't consider my shit baggage. That's my
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But at my age, meeting someone around my age, they're going to have.
It'd be rare
Yeah.
to find someone who hasn't got
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I got for her, that's like overwhelming. Like, what do you mean he's selling a house? And, you know,
Yeah.
because all those things then have to be factored in at our age that
Oh,
necessarily wouldn't be when you're 23, 24.
Yeah.
No,
Do you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I do know a fella actually who is just recently going back onto the dating scene, and he was with a girl for a long time, for like many years, and bought a house and everything. But he's now back on the dating scene, and he has kind of come to terms with the fact that anybody he meets is going to have kids,
yeah.
because we are this age. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you know, not that he's not against kids, but he doesn't have any of his own yet.
And
So
would he
you-
like some?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But like that as well, I think at the start he probably thought, oh, he'd be fine to find somebody just like him with no kids and
Yeah.
starting now. But there realistically
Right.
is very few, isn't
Yeah.
there? Like very few.
Because like that, the
I'd say.
people at that, like at that kind of that age group are either settled down
Mm,
or in it like that could be have in the
Yeah.
peak of their career and they're like, I'm
Yeah.
not in a position to be getting
Yeah.
into a serious relationship or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
yeah.
I think obviously for women as well, it is, we do have a biological clock.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, we aren't thinking, most of us in our early 40s, that we're going to start a family now.
Yeah.
You know, if
And
we
not only
have-
that, if
yeah.
you're like 40, 41, only meeting somebody,
Yeah.
you're not going to
Oh,
want to
yeah,
be like, yeah,
so
I
it's
want
another
to
couple
I
of
want to be
years, yeah.
pregnant, I want to
Yeah.
have a baby in 10 months, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know a second name and you're
Yeah.
you're what the
Yeah.
spoiling their baby.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so
you
it's
still don't know.
I think,
Yeah,
I
to
think
let
they're in
you
a
know.
completely different mindset as you
Yeah.
get older, because all your circumstances have
yeah,
changed.
and you're
than
it's
when
more
you're
kind
here.
of practical and your
Yeah.
life experiences have kind
Yeah.
of taught you
Yeah.
how to be realistic, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important as well that we know we all got positive stories on our personal pages on the podcast
Yeah.
of
Absolutely.
people that met online
Yeah.
and are married or are getting married, and you know, like my friend, actually, we were talking about it today. I just always think this is a mental story. So her and her husband now were working together. I think they're together 14 years now. They were working. She was based in Dublin, he was based in England, and they were both working with the same company, would chat back and forth. And obviously, like, online stuff wasn't a big thing
Yeah.
14 years ago, but they decided to meet in England. So she flew to England to meet this guy that she had never met before in person, and they went off to Blackpool, and like, they're now married.
Really?
10 years married.
Wow. That's
like-
a really nice story.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you just don't know what way it could happen. And then Dave, our friend, so Dave was this guy that knocked on my door, and he was doing like Electric Ireland or something like that, one
Yeah.
of those things. And we got chatting, and he ended up, he was telling me he was getting married, and he ended up, we sorted Kira as singing for his ceremony, which he's delighted about. But he was telling me he met the girl he's marrying now at the door when he was selling Electric Ireland stuff. And I was
Stop.
saying, people would always say to me, you're never going to meet someone if you don't get out there, they're not going to knock on your
Yeah.
door. And I was like, Dave did.
Yeah.
Dave knocked on
Yeah.
her door.
Dave knocked on her motherfucking door.
Yeah.
Dave's
And now they're getting
taken
married.
out.
And Kira's singing at the wedding. Like,
Isn't that deadly?
Yeah.
Can we go?
but like, isn't it
Any backing
amazing?
singers?
Like, you just don't know what's around the corner for you. Like, even
No,
me
you
there
don't.
with Darren when I went on that date, like, the other thing is, like, on my own personal Instagram page, I would talk about online dating. I think, like, another single man, Julie, twins me, she does as well. And people do be fascinated by it because it's mental. But I would always just tell the stories, you know, I'm going to state, I feel sick, how I got on. But when I started texting Darren, I never did that. It was like I just knew.
Yeah. You knew and you knew.
Yeah, it was like this feels like it's more. And it did, and it has since then.
Yeah.
Hence why I haven't mentioned it on my page.
Yeah.
Thanks again. But yeah, like, but it. Yeah, I think it just happens when it's meant to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, look, obviously I'm hopeful and positive now. Again, anything could happen.
Yeah.
But I think you have to kind of, in life, not just date and just look at it like things turn out the way they're meant to turn out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, because I remember when I broke up with Elia's dad, I was so upset for her. It wasn't upset for me. Like, I think I was relieved at that breakup. But for her, like, her family unit was breaking. And now, like, even a few months after that, I was like, the relief of it all.
Yeah.
Like, this is what's best for me and her, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that doesn't necessarily mean that any ex is a bad person.
No.
Because at one time, like, I mean, even with Nikita's dad, like, there was a relationship and we did have, like, you know, long years together, and, you know, I would never say a bad thing about him, but by the time the relationship was done, it had completely run its course. You know what I mean? So there'd be absolutely, like, no hatred or anything like that there. It's just, I think when you meet someone that young as well, you can grow apart. Do you know what I mean? Or one might outgrow the other, say. In your case, you were just very lucky. You did, you know,
you grew together.
You grew together, you grew up together, and you work together, and, you know, the music and all that you have in common, like, and even watching you is like, because me and Tracy have seen you, and, like, even the pictures that Chris took, one of the best pictures was a picture of Darren actually just watching you, and the smile on his face while you were singing, and you didn't even know he was looking at you, and it's heartwarming, and it's lovely, like, and we're blessed to have all that.
Yeah.
We are.
We are lucky. I mean, that's like.
I don't have big bloody hearts now after this.
We're gonna have to edit this.
But it is also hard as well for women. Harder for women with children. Like, with my daughter's dad, like, he was able to, you know, kind of, not quickly, but at his own leisure, go off and meet someone or go on dates or do whatever he was doing. But as the mother, like that, you're at home with the child. It's a lot harder to do that and filter out the crap and like have time for everything, and you know, with childcare and all that having to be taken into account. That it is. I'm not going to say for the mother, for the primary carer, it's more difficult, because in some cases, obviously, the man is the primary carer. But that also adds an extra pressure.
Yeah, because you would say if it's a weekend, not necessarily weekend father, weekend parent, they could say, well, I don't have the kids this weekend, so I can do whatever, and go away for the weekend, whereas you could be like, well, Elia's dad doesn't have her.
And see, I don't have that option, because Elia doesn't go for sleepovers. There, so I don't have that option. Like, I solely rely on my parents or a friend, and I'm off at the moment because of the pandemic, but I work shift work, so I work till 10 o'clock at night some evenings. So on the other evenings off, I can't be off out on dates. Like, I need to be there with my daughter.
As it is, you're already trying to
as well as the pressure. You know, so it's just a lot to consider.
It would have been actually nice, I have to say, to have a man's point of view, a single man on the dating scene. I hadn't thought of doing that first, but I would imagine it would be intimidating for a man, like, just thinking from a man's perspective. When we say a single mother is going on a date, we're only, you know, worried that, you know, is this date going to go okay? But there must be a lot of pressure on men that know, okay, but there's not only that girl,
they could be possibly taking on a family.
Exactly. So where we only have to worry about that one person, they're like, you know.
Like you said with Nikita, like she's like, I don't want Chris in my face, keep
and
away
it would
from
have
me.
been a deal breaker here, 100%. Like, and Chris knew that, and I knew that as well about his son, because his son was 4, and Nikita was, 11. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Let's call her
She was
11.
11. So I knew it was going to be rough, but from a man's perspective, I'd have to say now going on Tinder and things like that, it must be rough.
I'd imagine
You
so,
know,
yeah.
Because they probably have their own kids and an ex to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, as well.
And then having to then take on, and then
Exactly.
then you have to think of
And
if
then
it was
they
to work out, like how you don't want to treat, like you don't want to kind of push, like say
it's different.
yeah, like say in your situation, for example, for him to move in with you and Aaliyah down the road, and then his kids are living with their
and
mum,
seeing him less.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
But
he
even
tried
like
to balance
things
that.
that other people don't think about, like we already had this conversation. Like say if we're talking about a holiday in 6 months, like for him, it's easier for him to get away for that week because the man's the primary carer.
Yeah.
But for me, no, he has to come on that week.
Yeah.
I don't have.
And then
people
is it
that
a
take
thing
me for
of,
a week.
well, does he feel like, oh well, I'm leaving my kids behind, or are the kids
Exactly,
like, hang on a minute, he's going away with this new
Yeah.
child, what
Yeah.
about
So,
me?
Like I suppose for me personally, it would always be like if my daughter's invited, all kids are
Of
invited.
course, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, and I would never take that away. But I do know of other situations. I have friends that are not particularly fond of their partner's kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Or the
And
mother,
or
would be
feel
horrible,
that their
that would be
partner's not
rough.
fond of their kids.
or the
and-
ex-partner might not be comfortable
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the kids going away with the
Exactly.
new partner, or
Yeah.
So just
like
like
it's a lot.
to it. Like it's
It is a lot. Yeah.
And I suppose all you can do
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
starting to online date or you're on that date, all you can do is be as honest as possible about what your expectations are
Yeah.
and what your own situation is as possible.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to give everything about your life away,
Yeah.
but you know, if you have kids and you're looking for a relationship, you need to be clear and say that.
Yeah.
This is the situation.
Yeah.
Because
Because you can't be just like, yeah, I'm ready to rock, do
Yeah.
whatever,
that's
and then
just
be
not
like,
the
oh, well,
reality of
actually, also I have 7 children.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm still breastfeeding loads of them,
Yeah.
so I can't go away the weekend. Like you need to be,
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You have to be.
be transparent or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is. There is
I would
a lot
hate to
to
go
it.
on the dating scene now. I have to say, I really
Yeah.
would. Like, I don't know if I have to go on a night out.
The effort, you'd be so tired.
I know.
And then
And you're tired to be going down the road and like looking at girls and you know, in the little skirts and all going on Saturday night and the big high heels and bare legs. And I'm like, oh, she must be freezing.
Yeah.
I know, but you do get into a different zone because
You're in a different
you're in a
mindset,
different
Yeah.
mindset.
Well,
so-
and when I was that young,
you know.
I didn't feel
Yeah.
cold. I
Yeah.
That's
didn't
the
care.
thing,
It
it
was
is,
like
like
the less the
now,
better.
like if I'm working through during the week or Darren's working and then we'd say, right, we're off early on, we're not gigging Friday or Saturday or something,
Yeah.
so we'll go out on Saturday. Comes to Saturday daytime, I'm like, I just want to go to Penny's, get a pair of jammies
Yeah.
for €8
Yeah.
and watch a film and
Yeah.
eat nachos, and
Yeah.
that's like, I am like as happy as a pig in shite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I suppose your circumstance, and like if you're single and you want to get out there, you want to get out with the girls and you want to dress up,
Yeah.
that's the mind frame you're in. But I think
And because you do gigs as well, I'm sure Darren does be at the same time saying, yeah, come on, get the nachos. We'll stay.
yeah, because it
Yeah.
is like we're out and it's late nights and you still like, even if we get in from a gig at 3 in the morning, you still have to be mammy and daddy the next
Yeah,
day.
you're still
day,
getting
like,
to school.
But
Yeah.
you're doing that with your husband who you're in love with.
Yeah.
So it gets boring doing it 365 days a year
Yeah.
on your own.
oh god,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
when your daughter, like for me in my situation, they go to bed 8-9 o'clock and it's me.
Yeah.
Do you know? And like for
So
the whole of the
company.
pandemic I
Yeah.
wasn't dating, so that was like 2 years of
Sitting alone.
loneliness at
Yeah.
night, and like I consider myself a very strong, independent female, like I
Yeah.
am, but that still creeps in on you at
Yeah.
night when you're
Yeah.
on
That
your
must
own,
have
and you
actually
have
been rough.
nearly all my friends are in relationships or seeing people, and I was always on my own,
Yeah.
do you know, so it's just a mindset.
Yeah.
So when you actually get on the dating scene and you start texting someone that you're vibing with, and
Yeah.
you can't wait to go out with them, you can't wait to
Yeah.
get
And
chatting
Yeah.
and do your makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, the last thing you want to do is sit in and eat nachos because
Yeah.
you're in a different frame of mind.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be honest with you, we are organising a night where we all sit in our pyjamas and eat nachos. because
Yeah.
That's my kind of thing.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
I love a nacho.
Yeah.
But it is different when you're dating. do you know?
Yeah.
And then I had to laugh because one of the questions we also asked was, what would be your ideal date?
Oh yeah.
Somebody wrote a hike.
Hi.
A hike.
I
Let's have an
know.
asthma attack after 2 minutes.
I know.
A hike.
I
Yeah.
know.
No, I have seen people even on Instagram, like influencers or whatever, on Instagram and like that would be, they do that. Like if Darren asked me to go on a hike, I'd
Probably hike.
I would probably wait for him to go asleep and stab him in the jugular.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know me at all.
Imagine though on a first day, a hike.
No.
Yeah, no, absolutely
Like,
no way.
I would not be looking my best going on a hike.
No.
And definitely not at the end of it.
Yeah.
No,
what I
imagine
mean?
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The end of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sweaty
So,
and
like,
red
me
face.
personally, like even some guys would suggest like just coffee. And I'd be like in my head going, oh my god, that's gonna be like a bright coffee shop. No,
Yeah.
I want like a dim pub.
A dungeon. Let's go to
Yeah,
a
like where
dungeon.
it's kind of
Let's
dark.
go where
You're not
it's
going to
dark.
notice as much that I'm filtered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I'll
like,
meet you in the cinema. I'll be on road trip.
yeah. Like,
Don't
honestly,
say your
you're right.
glasses.
now, I
One
don't
island
think,
yours.
I know some people would say, oh, cinema, I don't get that because you can't talk on a first
Well,
date.
yeah, and you do need to. Yeah.
But, yeah, for me, it'd have to just be kind of like a pub atmosphere where it's a bit dark. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing bright dates.
No.
Yeah.
And definitely
even
not
like-
exercise once,
No.
like hiking.
No.
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 That's a personal thing.
I don't do hiking in my own personal life. I'm definitely not doing it with a date.
And I definitely wouldn't be going on a blind day hiking the Pyramid
Imagine.
Mountains.
Yeah.
Imagine. Come on into this forest.
You were
here,
literally
love.
walking into wrong
Like, what?
Yeah, no.
What's the shovel for? None.
Are we doing some gardening?
But like, it's just mad because even going back to what we were saying there about people presenting themselves as a certain way online and then in person.
Yeah.
Like one of the people that wrote back to us when we asked about their worst experience, she said that she had met a guy, was with him for like years, fought for 3 years in court with him against his ex for access, and he ended up getting back with the ex. Like,
What?
Like, what? Do you know, like, you
my
just
God.
don't know. Like, it
That's
is
not
a
the
minefield.
ideal circumstance.
Yeah,
like-
that's not nice.
Do you know,
Yeah, he deserves it in the jugular.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. And like, Laura knows this, I started writing a book.
Oh, I cannot read
About
this. Are you
online
still
dating.
going to do it? Are you still
No, I
gonna-
am going to do it. Like, Darren keeps having going, I'm your last chapter.
Yeah, here's the last chapter.
So it's
you're
now
gonna
turned
fill
into a series of short stories. But, like, I have had crazy experiences. Like, and
Yeah.
the reason I started writing the book was
Will
because...
you say the name of it because it's brilliant? Are you allowed to say that? Really? Can you?
No, probably not.
No,
It's not
probably
copyrighted.
maybe not. Okay, but it is brilliant.
I'll tell you that. But I used to be in work and I'd be at the back of the office, like people would be waiting till the back of the office for me to tell them what mad stories was actually
Yeah.
happening. And like I'll give you an example of a story. So a few Christmases ago, got chatting to a guy online, seemed really nice. He was at breaking up with his ex and they had kids and all this, but it seemed to be a bit messy. Anyway, roll on a couple of weeks, a lot of dick pics were coming through, and a lot of just really dirty stuff, right? And I was not into it at all. But anyway, I was showing my friend, the girl who we also had the postman situation, I was showing her him, and she was like, Tracy, is his name? I'm not going to say his name because the story is crazy.
Oh, God.
Is his name? And I was like, yeah. So it turned out she had an issue, a domestic issue, and the Gardaí had been involved, and this particular Gardaí had stalked her and had
The Gardaí that came to sort
one
out
of
the
the
problem.
guards had found on Snapchat and all this, and he was kind of harassing her and whatever. So I was obviously very aware of that story, but I'd never seen him. Turned out, same guy. Not only that, he was my second cousin.
Stop that.
He was my second cousin.
What?
Yeah. And I had all these images and videos. Yeah. So what I did was I changed my profile picture on WhatsApp to me and her. So he obviously knew straight away. Then sent him a message saying, obviously I am best friends with,
Oh,
and
my
if you
God.
ever contact her again,
Yeah.
I'm going to share all these images with family.
And then like, all I can think about is like, how did you both get involved with the same postman and the same policeman?
Because
Like,
it's
what?
actually a lot smaller than you think. Like even all those numbers,
Yeah.
like it's a lot.
It's like
Within your
cross-
radius, that's what it is. Like, so you set your radius.
So
on
could you
Tinder
be
and
going
catch
into
this lot.
your local super value and there could be a fella at the traffic lights and he'd be like, there's your woman on Tinder. Like,
Oh, yeah, well, I
it
suppose,
tells you
yeah.
how close they are.
Oh yeah, like well you can set it for 1 kilometre. Like so,
No
Yeah.
way.
so Yeah.
Wow.
So
I know,
that
mind blown.
particular friend of me, because we were both single and online dating at the same time, we did have a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
and I suppose the
crossovers.
same age groups
Yeah.
or whatever.
Exactly. So we did have lots of, but yeah, like that's just one mad story. So I used to be telling them all this, and the staff, like that, you know, my colleagues would be like, "Oh, Tracy, you have to write a book," and I was like, "Do you know what, I fucking hope to," because so many mental things were happening.
Yeah.
You couldn't
And like,
know.
I met Laura one day in Omni, and I sat and I read one of the stories to her, and she started crying.
Sobbing.
Like it was
Sobbing.
emotional. Like it was. I just had the most crazy experiences of
Yeah.
online dating.
But it was so well written. Like I
Yeah.
literally cannot wait for this.
Well, then
Like,
the book has to happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait for it. It's very
It's just
exciting.
what paused it was COVID,
Yeah,
and then quite quickly after COVID, I met Darren. So
Yeah,
I was
so
like-
now you don't have any. Darren's gone
Yeah.
on to up his game and give you some weird stories.
I know, yeah.
Finish off
And I
his
kept
last
saying I
chapter.
didn't so much mind then the mad dates because I was like, it's material. Just keep looking at it like that's
Yeah.
material for the book, because there was just so much crazy stuff happening.
yeah,
But it's hit and miss. Like you just don't know.
Well, I
what you're
think what we'll do is, because we're coming to an end with this one, I think what we should do is, because our thing is for anyone kind of interested, some of our episodes are going to be heavy.
Yeah.
This one was a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we have to do a few lighthearted ones, because some of the heavy ones that we have
are very heavy.
coming are heavy.
very heavy.
So we
Yeah.
do need to kind of mix it up a little bit. We don't want to kind of depress everyone, but maybe we'll do that one of the episodes. We could do that, and it can be with myself and Laura just sit, our arms folded, and
Yeah.
you can read out your book.
Yeah.
We can have a
Either that or we'll haul in all her failed attempts.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
get in here one by one.
Line and column.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot.
Yeah.
and we can guess which one. We can match the story to the weird.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, we'll do
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
So we're going to close this one
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
We thank you to Stuart at Jealous Town for having us.
Yes.
Thank you, Stuart.
Absolutely. And do you know the place is absolutely beautiful.
It's amazing.
Isn't
I've
it? It is
recorded,
amazing.
a
It
lot
is
here
so
in music,
cool.
so it's my first time being here, recording me waffling.
Yeah.
But,
'cause
still
it
as
is-
comfortable.
Yeah, because you record your music.
I do. So it's for anyone looking to do anything like this or
Yeah.
recording anything, I suppose it's.
You have code line and everything here, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some Dublin band called Aslan.
Yeah, I think I heard of them.
I think
I think I might have heard of
I
them.
think they owned my childhood.
But yeah, no, I'm very. It's a great studio in Dunshaughlin if anyone is looking.
Yes.
No, we'll be back here again soon. This is our new setting,
Yeah.
and we'll
Yeah,
That's
and we'll see you all soon, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Oh, before we go, have you got one more minute?
yeah,
Because
sure.
I wanted to do a zinger, right?
Right, go.
And, okay, so I put up a poll because this was really annoying me.
I love how
So-
excited she's at to get. I hope this is good.
Right, what would you call it? A house coat or a dressing gown? Tracy is really annoyed at me
I
about
was
this.
not happy with the results on the Instagram page.
I'm not letting
Oh,
her
the
see.
pressure.
Look what I'm trying to say.
I won't say what mine is until she says.
What do you call it? In your house.
I think my go-to would be house coat.
Yes, Kira, we are on the same page. How many people, like, in
34% said house coat, 66% said dressing gown.
Well, I think
However-
you're posh.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I
you're
would
posh.
say dressing gown when I was young, and I'm far from posh. But I do say house gown.
House gown.
What?
Yeah,
Never
I
heard
know.
of that till Laura said.
And I think I'm the only person that says it
No.
because.
Never heard of it. Like, house snobby doesn't sound. I'm just going to grab my house gown, Jeffrey. No.
Jeffrey grabbed my house
Yeah,
gown.
yeah.
No.
No, it's a house
Yeah.
coat.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know whether that's a
It is.
Dublin thing.
It's not a house
It's not
coat.
even a thing. It's-
Only 34% agree with you.
They're
So it's
wrong.
not.
I
It's
think
dressing
I do
gown.
think it's a Dublin thing,
Yeah,
but definitely house gown. No, that's
No.
That's
Laura,
no.
we need to talk about that after this podcast.
No, I
Yeah.
think you need to take it up with the public. Because.
No, you said it.
No,
No.
you don't want to say house gown.
That's not a thing,
All right,
and
house
it
gown
won't.
is not a
It's not
thing.
going to catch on.
Okay.
Okay, so right, we're done.
We're
We're
done.
done for today.
Yeah.
We are.
Thanks for listening or
Thanks for
watching or
listening,
whatever. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. I hope you haven't bored us all to tears, and we will be back. They won't all be as lighthearted as this, as Kira said, but we have some special bangers coming for you.
Yes.
And some guests. as
And
well.
some guests as well, obviously. And thank you so much again to Stuart at Jealous Town.
Woohoo.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Stuart. And yeah, good night.
Good night and God bless.
I call you when I
Not
cut that out.
Yeah, turn that.
Right.
Done. I was like, that was shy.
No, it was actually that was good. That went flowed. Yeah. I know we stopped.
We'll hear the end.
Yeah. But I
that's
thought
good.
that was a flowy one as well.
Have enough?
Jesus.
Talking bollocks have a run for their money.
Oh, this is gone.
Is it?
Thank God, that's the one I did not record.
Should have recorded
I
that.
don't know what's on it. I think your phone's going to be gone.
Do you want to try
No, the
recording
phone
again?
recorded
Recording
the
now,
whole
yeah.
thing
Right
the
there,
last
recording
time.
now, yeah.
Still recording there, yeah.
Listen,
Go back to